Okay, great. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. Start. Can everyone see the PowerPoint? Yes. Okay, great. So one second. So this is the Tom Newhouse mediation competition. Basically what that looks like is we'll have teams that consist of 2 students, one as the attorney and the other as the client. Teams will switch roles after the initial round. It's a closed research competition, and only sources that you're allowed to use are the ones in the competition packets, which will be emailed out once everything's assigned. You're allowed to make reasonable inferences, but you can't agree to or state anything that's outside of your authority. So you can make, again, that like small leaps, but you can't make any rash decisions. You'll get points taken off from the judges. Each problem set will have generals and confidentials, and it'll be given to both sides, but the confidentials will be specific to your particular side. And then caucuses may be called as many times as needed, and they may last as long as the teams or mediator decide, but you have to kind of be strategic about this. It'll look bad if you take too much time off. It'll look bad if you don't take enough time. So just be smart when utilizing the caucuses. Let's see. Each round will be 120 minutes with a 10-minute judge's critique. All teams are required to compete in 2 preliminary rounds. All members must be in separate rooms. The mediator is in charge of running the rounds, and the mediator will be the person who's also in charge of putting you in breakout rooms and for the caucuses, as well as any breaks you might need. You must have your camera and microphones on during the entire competition. Participants will need to change their name on the Zoom according to their team label. So if you're team Z or team 12 or something, it'll say that with your name. And you'll have to be sure to hide in your video settings the non-video participants. And we'll remind you of that during the actual competition. It's super easy. You just go into the settings and press a button. There will be also a bailiff in each room if you run into technical issues. If they can't figure it out, they'll contact me or somebody else and we'll figure it out. No virtual backgrounds are allowed, and you can't consult attorneys or professors for strategies or tactics. Now, each round is broken into 10 minutes of a mediator's opening. The mediator will be assigned to the round, so you don't have to worry about that. They'll kind of explain why they're here, what they're going to be doing, and how they're going to help you. Then there'll be a 10-minute for the plaintiff's opening statement, 10 minutes for the defendant's opening statement, and 90 minutes for mediation sessions. So I did bring up the caucuses earlier. So if you're doing 90 minutes for the mediation session, you shouldn't use more than half of that for caucuses unless you really need to. So again, be strategic about that. The schedules are going to look like this. So essentially, Friday, we're going to begin at 9:30 a.m. We'll have a check-in 15 minutes before everyone logs into their Zoom rounds. And so we'll create a Zoom room for those check-ins. And then 15 minutes after that, you'll be able to log into your Zoom room. The rounds will start at 10 a.m. and they will last until 12:30. And then we'll have a break for lunch and then do another check-in via Zoom for round 2 at 1:30. Then you'll log into your actual Zoom room 15 minutes later at 1:45. And then you'll do the preliminary round 2 from 2 to 4:30. And at 5, we should have the announcement of teams that advance via email, and we'll also post it. On Saturday, we'll do the semis. That's going to have a 9:30 a.m. check-in via Zoom for the semifinals, 9:45 a.m. log into your actual Zoom room with a mediator for competition, and then the competition will begin at 10 a.m. and go until 12:30. And then on Saturday, that same day, but in the afternoon, we'll have the championship rounds. So we'll announce who's moved on during that lunch period. And then we'll do a 1 p.m. check-in via Zoom. 1:15 will be whenever you log into your actual Zoom room with the mediator. And then from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m., we'll have the first championship round, a small 15-minute gap, and then we'll do logging into your next Zoom room, and the second championship round will be announced from 4 to 6. And the judges will watch all 4 of those teams and decide which team is the winner and rank the rest. Now, registration will be live today at 6 p.m., October 1st, which is today. You have to pay a competition fee. It'll be $50 for non-advocates members and $10 for advocates members. You'll have to submit an online application on the advocates website and submit the payment as well. I will receive a confirmation of the registration from the competition director with me, and then I will send you an email once you've registered, and we assign the teams. Now, the students can earn 1 hour of non-substantive credit by making a good faith effort during the actual competition and also completing the submission of the writing assignment. The writing assignment is 3 different parts. The first is a written mediation position statement, and that will be due October 15th at midnight, 11:59 p.m. ideally. That's the day before the competition begins. And then we'll also have a proposed settlement strategy in light of your position statement, and that will also be due that same time. And then after it's over, you'll have around 2 weeks to submit a post-competition analysis of the final outcome, and that will be due October 29th at 11:59 p.m. And there's more details about what these entail and what should be included in all of these, and that will be sent out through emails after you've all registered. So teams, again, will get a confirmation of who's registered after registration closes, so sometime within the next couple of days. Fact patterns will be made available the week before the competition. I'm not in charge of that. We have the Mediation National Competition that's in charge of the fact pattern, so as soon as I get them, I'll send them out to the teams. And then Zoom links will also be sent to each individual team for the preliminaries prior to the competition weekend. Now, do we have any questions? I know I went through that really fast.
How long are the writing assignments?
So there's 3 different ones, and from what I remember, the first 2 were 2 pages and the third one was 3 pages. But I could be wrong on that. I can check and get back to you.
Okay, cool, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Will you send out the PowerPoint deck, or will that be posted on the advocates website?
So this recording will be posted on the website, and so I can also have them post a PowerPoint if that's easier for you.
Yeah, it would be. Thank you.
No problem.
For the writing assignment, is that per team or is that per individual?
It's per individual.
And also a point of clarification as well. Whenever Llama had the prices up, $10 for member and $50 for non-members, that's per person. So each person on the team needs to pay. So if it's 2 non-members, that'll be $100 in total. A member and a non-member, $60 in total, or 2 members, $20. And you can sign up to be a member on our website. You can sign up anytime before you register. If you become a member after you register, we cannot help you. So if you want that sweet, sweet discount, that is on our website. It will say join. So just throwing that out there, recommended.
And Chelsea, 1 person pays for both, correct?
Yes, and then the Google form also has information for both people. So 1 person needs to pay and 1 person needs to register on the form. But you have to have someone already be your teammate. You can't register by yourself and assume that you'll get a teammate later in order to secure your spot. We do have a limited number of spots we can offer, and this is a very popular competition each year. Last year, we filled up in less than 4 days. So if you do want to compete, if this is something you're interested in, get a partner and sign up as soon as possible. As Llama said, the registration opens tonight at 6 p.m. on our website. So it's highly recommended that if you really want to compete and get the experience and the feedback and get the course credit and the potential to win a cash prize and all sorts of bragging rights and all that kind of stuff, make sure that you get on that sooner rather than later.
A quick question. So for the first timers, is there like an example video that we could review prior to the competition to get a feel for the expectations during the rounds and everything?
I'm not sure if they have past recordings of UH members. I think at the very least that we can probably provide a video of a mediation round for you guys on the website as well.
Yeah, I would really.
Can I jump in here real quick?
Of course.
By the way, everybody, my name is Amy Hawk. I'm the Associate Director for the Blakely Advocacy Institute, and we run the other half of this competition. But to answer your question, yes, we do actually have videos from all of the rounds from last year. I'm fairly certain they are posted on the Blakely website under the National Mediator Competition tab, and you should be able to find videos from all of last year's rounds.
Okay,
Any other questions?
thank you.
Yeah, may I ask another very quick question? So new to all this and did Blakely Butler, had a lot of fun. Wondering, can you just kind of summarize how it's different from that competition? I mean, I saw some key factors, but I think that might be helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So with Blakely Butler, that was moot, right? And so you had a teammate and you kind of had a brief that you would, where you would discuss points and the judge would interrupt you and ask you questions. With mediation, it's different. So it's more of like a partnership. You and your partner will kind of plan out an opening and strategy for the actual mediation. You'll have terms that you'll be negotiating for your clients. And your client will be with you, excuse me. And so you'll have terms that you want to negotiate with them in mind, of course. And then you'll be able to utilize the mediator for caucuses or for any impasses that you might have with the other team. So it's much more collaborative.
Yeah, thanks, Lama. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Lama, could you also please shed some light on how much time should we expect to put into the preparation for this? Again, as opposed to someone who did moot court, just kind of how much time we should expect?
I think it depends on each person's like skills and whether or not you've done mediation before. If it's your first time, I would definitely give it at least a week and a half of prep, probably preferably 2 weeks if you can. It's not that hard. Again, it's just really focusing on having this great strategy and having that good kind of connection with your client. That way, whenever you are negotiating with the other side, you're able to come to the middle and kind of come to a compromise.
Thanks.
I just wanted to clarify the writing assignments. So I know somebody already asked if it's an individual requirement. And so I guess I'm wondering, since we're on teams, I would think that we would prep together. But then are we supposed to write completely independent of each other, or can we write together? What are the rules around that?
So it'll all be sent out to you guys once you register, but as far as I know, you're going to be submitting them separately, and I believe that they can be the same because, again, it's about strategy and what you're submitting, but of course it'll change because you'll either be the client or the attorney, and so they'll have a similar strategy and a similar premise, but you'll have to kind of add a little bit more about your position and what you've done or what you're planning on doing during the mediation.
Okay, so it sounds like the two prep assignments would probably be the same as each other, but maybe the later assignment due after the mediation would be kind of different.
Yeah, and even going into the mediation, you'll have to consider, your role as the client or the attorney and how that will be different from your partner's role. And so they shouldn't be identical, obviously, but of course they'll have the same strategies.
Okay, all right, thank you.
No problem. Anything else?
I was actually a little confused with Professor Hawk's chat in the window. You and your partner will not be allowed in the same room, but I thought I would be the lawyer and my partner would be the client. Are you talking about like physical room? Because I would have. Okay. So we're still going to be like we're still one side. We're the same side.
Yes. So the way this is going to work, we will have a Zoom account set up. You and your partner will get the Zoom link. You need to log in from separate locations, but you and your partner are absolutely a team. And you will need to communicate with each other during the round to discuss strategy. When the other side proposes some potential settlement options, obviously you'll need to be able to have some private conversation with your partner to talk about if you like those options, if you want to suggest other changes or build on what the other side has offered. You can do those types of communications via text message, via instant message, however you want to arrange that method of communication. But you will not be allowed to be physically in the same room together for the competition.
Got it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe did send the video in the chat from last year, if you guys want to take a look at that and see how it looks like.
I think there are about 30 videos, so you can have lots of options. If you're only wanting to watch one, I would recommend that you scroll down to the very bottom of the list and watch the championship rounds. Those are the best rounds in terms of competitors. They're also the best video quality. So that would be my recommendation.
Okay, great. Anything else, guys? So like I said, this will be recorded. This is recorded and it will be posted on the website. Registration goes live on our website as well. And we'll have another session at 5 o'clock. So if you have any more questions you can think of, just meet us then. Otherwise, have a great day, guys. Thank you for being here.
Actually, one quick question. How many teams are going to be able to participate? I know that they tend to fill up pretty quick.
We said 28, right, Amy?
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Thanks, Lama. Bye.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks,
All right.
Llama. Great job.
Lama, I'll see you at 5.
Sounds great. See you then.
Okay.
Yay. Okay, that went by so fast, which is great because I have to go prep for my on-call.
But yeah, no, that was, oh, let's stop recording.